BA first semester optional students. In the last video, I explained about the four components of literary communication according to M.H. Abrahams. So they are world bar society, audience bar reader, author bar writer, and work bar text. And M.H. Abraham also classifies literary theories according to what component is given the most attention. So number one, mimetic theories, pragmatic theories, expressive theories, and objective theories, of which I have I have given you a little about world bar society. So in this component, to help the communication of literature. So here the author stands very important, and he is part and parcel of the society. That's why this point is world bar society. And literature is said to be the social creation, social institution, and using the medium language. Language is very necessary for the creation of literature. So this language is once again a social creation. So, and he utilizes some traditional literary devices like using symbolism and using meter. These are they are social in nature. They are conventions and norms which could have arisen only in society. So they are available in the society. And furthermore, he says that literature represents life. I have already told you, it is a mirror of life. It is a reflection of the society, like this. And life is a social reality. The poet himself is a member of the society because he is one among us, but he has a special position in the society. That is what he has, the social status, and he receives some degrees of social recognition and reward. He will be isolated as an educated one and special in the society, and he is getting lots of praise and rewards from the society institutions. So this poet or the writer addresses an audience, and that is what the audience hypothetically ಕಾಲ್ಪನಿಕವಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಆಡಿಯನ್ಸನ್ನು ಅವನು ಉದ್ದೇಶಿಸಿ ತನ್ನ ಬರಹವನ್ನು ತನ್ನ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. That audience is hypothetical. Indeed, literature has usually arisen in close connection with a particular society. So literature is nothing but it has the connection with the society, it has a connection with the culture. So here the literary man creates literature, taking it directly from the society, their way of living, their culture, their tradition, convention, what we count in the society. And in early societies, in the earlier times, we may even be unable to distinguish poetry from rituals. So in those days, we did not have the distinguished division between rituals and poetry, work or play. So literature has also a social function or use. So it has a social use. It cannot be assigned purely an individual. Thus, a large majority of the questions raised by literary study are, so there are some questions by the study of literature, they arise, at least by implication, social questions, questions of tradition, questions of convention, norms, genres, symbols, myths, so on and so forth. And coming to the theories here, mimetic theory. Mimetic theory. So it foreground the notion of literature as an imitation. So according to mimetic theory, mimetic means imitation. So anukarane. So here its main, advocation is the imitation of society, imitation of the, cultures, what it is there in the society, and representation of the world and human life. It is the imitation of human life, his way of living, his opinions, his feelings, and presuppose a belief in the already existing world. The world has already existed, and in which he studies the people, different varieties of, styles living. Such a belief is what only rarely, so very rarely he writes it in his writing. This mimesis as a constructive process in which an appearance of reality is created. It is not reality. See, literature is, according to this theory, appearance of reality, but not the reality. That's what very important here. A typical movie is to contrast poetic or literary language with scientific or referential. So, language is regard to the kind of reference text marks. Here the text it makes like this. The center of literary art is obviously to be found in the traditional genres of the lyric. So literary art, we get the literary art in these varieties. It is there in the epic, lyric, drama. So in all these, the reference is to a world of fiction, of imagination. So we'll get the imaginative, and we'll get the fictional, means not fact. So there are the statements in the novel, in a poem, or in a drama are not literally true. So what we read actually in the poetry, in the drama, in the play, the dialogues, so not actually true, but they are created by the author, the writer. And the key terms, so I have mentioned here, imagination, fiction are the two important words I have discussed here. So here, these are used synonymously. Fiction and imagination are used synonymously. One sense of terms, imagination means the exercise of an inventive or creative power. Inventive or creative power. Imagination means inventive or creative power to give the illusion of a possible but not actual world. This is very important. He creates the possible world. Through imagination, he creates the possible world, but not the actual world. That is what the imagination. And this view of poetic invention received its classic formulation in Sir Philip Sidney's Apology for Poetry, in which we can see this kind of imagination. The conventional emphasis on a sharp distinction between fictional and non-fictional. So once again we come here to discuss about fiction, which are the fictions and which are the non-fictions. Fictions means it is the writing of a poet or a author's creation, but not based on facts. It is somewhat, creating it, not based on the facts. And fictional and non-fictional texts as a criterion for literary versus non-literary. Whether a text is fictional or not is less the consequence of some inherent quality of the text, but of a reader's attitude towards it. So reader, he understands. A very good reader, an intelligent reader classifies which one is fiction and which one is non-fiction. So he classifies it very clearly. If we know that a particular text is from a newspaper, we automatically assume that the story must be real. So it is a very fact they produce in the newspapers. That's why if we read the matter in the newspaper, definitely we believe it as a real one. But contrast, if this had been the beginning of a novel, so the same case, the same matter, if we see at the beginning of one novel, we would undoubtedly have classified these characters and the settings as fictitious. So this is what the difference between fiction and non-fiction. So in fiction, if you take for example novel, so we definitely come to the conclusion that all these creation is, non-fictional. But what we read in the newspaper is, reality. In other words, we as readers are conditioned through education and cultural norms to approach text in certain ways. In this view, fictionality is no longer an inherent feature of literary texts. Fictionality means you cannot, expect the fiction means unreality. There may be certain reality he includes in the novel also, but not all it is fiction. Somewhat he creates something by a writer. But part of our expectations of what a literary text should be. So this way, for literary communication, this component, world bar society. So what we have, the material in the society, how the author is creating literature, imitating, taking the imagination and making it a fictional. So all these possibilities we see in this world bar society.